Hey, I'm JR.
And I'm Mike from the 18 Over Par with Mike and JR podcast.
Welcome to Season 4 of the pod, where we'll continue exploring the sights, stories, and sounds of golf on the prairies, where you'll find some of the most golf courses per capita of anywhere in the world, and maybe we'll even drink some more beer this season.
That's right, JR. More beer.
It's the 18 Over Par podcast with Mike and JR.
You suck, you jackass.
Welcome to 18 Over Par with Mike and JR, proudly presented by Bryce Matlashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. You can contact Bryce at 204-515-3446. I'm JR, he's Mike, and today we're joined by the voice of the Dauphin Kings, Darnell Duff. He's a new dad, and he's the king of fun when it comes to golf. Well, it's been a month. I think it's been a month exactly since the last time we recorded, so it'll be a month when this show gets released. And we had this guy on our radar for maybe a year or even two. And so that's how long it takes for us to connect with you sometimes. So for those of you who are like, why the hell haven't I been on the show yet? It takes us some time, okay? It might take a year or two for you to get on the darn show, but we didn't forget about you. We just got a lot going on. And also, we're trying to get everyone in there. Hopefully, by the end of this show, when we're all wrapped up with our 18 Over Par podcast, we'll have talked to every single golfer in and around the province. That's a lofty goal, but maybe it can happen. We'll just have to wait and see. But this one is very special because one of the reasons why we've been away for so long is because, Mike, you welcomed a new family member.
We did. We got a little puppy, JR. Just kidding. We
shitting and pissing everywhere. We get it.
Yeah, we had a baby, Charlie, little baby Charlie gal, and so that's been very exciting and learning a lot and not getting a lot of sleep, but it's pretty amazing.
And on top of that, too, you blew out your knee. We touched on it a little bit. In the last episode with Aaron Ryback. So just walk us through again exactly what happened there.
I didn't know we had to, but I was on my bicycle, my pedal bike, not my motorcycle, not that cool. And I was riding home, and I took a turn, and there must have been some gravel or a rut, and
a rabid raccoon,
and just wiped out on my bike and tore my MCL. So it was a grade 3 MCL tear. I've been out for how long now? Almost 5 weeks now, and probably have another 4 weeks or so before I get this massive Stone Cold Steve Austin knee brace off. And but I was able to get out to River Oaks yesterday and played a little bit of a scramble round. So pushed it a little bit too much, as you will, but almost got to say I learned a lot about my swing in that I was, it was a Sandy Cruciba lesson. I was using my hands, took my legs out of it and just using my hands, and you could actually get around pretty well. So from 160 yards out, I was still able to contribute. So except on the green, couldn't putt. We're shit. So. Blame it on the knee. And Charlie, the baby.
Well, also Darnell, same thing. You welcomed a family member as well, pretty much around the same time as Mike.
Yeah, August 13th, we welcomed our first little girl, Collins, Janet Christie Duff, to the world. So it's been, just like Mike, it's been a learning process. Not a lot of sleepless nights and some. Whoa, what in the world am I doing? Like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but no, the mama's doing really good. She's doing really good. And dad's just trying to stay afloat and learn and try and contribute in any way I possibly can.
Mm-hmm. It's survival. I think that's what I texted Mike the other day is, how are you surviving? And I meant that in a nice way.
I think that's the perfect word. Like, I feel like me personally, it's so different than anything I've ever experienced in my life. And it's a different love than I've ever experienced in my life. Like a family, I love them to death. My partner, Brody, love her to death. But I mean, my child, it's a different kind of love. So as frustrating as it can be at times when, you're not doing the right thing and that sort of thing. At the end of the day, you're doing the best you can. And that's kind of my motto. I'm trying to do the best I can for mama and for the little one.
This is going to turn into a dad girl podcast here, or whatever it is. Yeah. We're all girl dads. Group. Yeah, the support. Yeah. Well, I'll hold hands with our bubblies. I have the raspberry bubbly, and Mike, you have the
grapefruit.
Grapefruit, okay. Because were you trying to unload your strawberry one the other day?
The cherries. Not a big fan of the cherry bubbly, so I will gladly get rid of those. I think I got about 20 because they come in the mix pack, the Costco mix pack. I think I like the 2 other flavors. I don't know, maybe it's the orange and I'll forget what comes in that one. But the cherry, it just sits in the cupboard and I don't even, not even when I'm dying of thirst. I don't, no, never.
How about you, Darnell? You're a bubbly guy yourself.
I am. I wish I can contribute, but I don't have. I have a deck of cards. I was kind of sad you guys didn't let me know the memo of the bubbly before the show. But I think I'll let you guys. I'll let you guys slide this time. But next time, just send me a memo. Give me like an hour notice, and I'll definitely bubbly it up.
Quickly, do you got a favorite bubbly?
Orange
flavor?
For sure.
Yeah, orange.
Hands down.
Good call.
I think that's our first deck of cards to show up on the 18 Over Par podcast here in our 4th season, towards the end of the 4th season.
Darnell's just playing solitaire while he's talking to us.
I'm in the man cave. Like we moved into this house 2 years ago in September. It was our first home that the wife and I bought. And like the day we moved in, I called my buddy and we went in the garage and I was like, okay, I want a man cave. So we just like started tearing walls down, ripping stuff down. So now I got a poker table in here and a fridge and like a TV. So that's where, and you would think I'd have some bubbly in the fridge, but I've been kind of busy, like other stuff. So, but I'll prioritize bubbly next time.
Yeah. Hey, it sounds like the bones are there anyways for a great place to hang out as you go along here in your broadcasting career and as well as your family career, if you can call it a career. But we also want to give a shout out to this gentleman who's been riding with us for the past 3 seasons, and that is Bryce Matlashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. You can contact Bryce at 204-515-3446. He is also in our link tree. You can just go to our Facebook or Instagram, our social media pages, click on our bio, and our link tree will pop up, and you will see Bryce's beautiful face there. And he is a family man as well. What does he have? 3 daughters, 1 son, 4 daughters? What is it? 3? Yeah, 3 and 1.
3 daughters, 1 son. Yeah.
That is an active household. Anytime I've been over there 2 or 3 times now, and my goodness, I thought my house was a zoo with the animals and my daughter, but geez, that is, I don't know how he does it, how him and his wife do it, but they do it.
Know. They're great kids. I think their kids are more mature than I am, and they're all like under 10. So
it's not saying much if anyone's listening to this show.
I haven't seen or heard of from Bryce in a while. So hopefully he's okay. He's probably globe trotting or something.
Yeah, I haven't seen any updates on his social media there, but he's a pretty fun follow as well. But you can get him and see him at St. Jack's. Maybe he'll take you for around St. Charles. You talk to him about some financial advice and a bunch of other things because he knows a bunch of people who can help you out with your work life, your personal life, financial life, whatever it is. He's a great gentleman to speak with. And we might as well throw this one in there too because we are back. So the first season, we did our first ever live show in our first season. That was at Fourth Line Pub and Grill, which is in St. James in Winnipeg on the corner of Ness and Sturgeon Road. And we are going to be there again. And Energy 106 is going to be there. And Mark Morris is going to be there from Hot 100.5. It's going to be a crazy day at Fourth Line Pub and Grill because they have 2 new golf simulators that they threw in there. I believe they're working with GC Hawks. So Lenny and Todd are going to come on. Maybe we're going to see some special guest appearances from some other folks as well. So that's coming up Saturday, September 21st. It's pretty much all day, but we're going to be there around 4 p.m. So you can come on down Saturday, September 21st, Fourth Line Pub and Grill. We'll be posting about it on our social media all this week, so you can find out some more information there. But yeah, please do come on down, say hi. There's going to be a bunch of specials on. There's a bunch of challenges and, closest to the pin, long drive, whatever they might dabble up. It's going to be a great time down there. Again, it's in St. James, of course, because we're a couple St. James boys. So that's just where everything happens to go down. So Fourth Line Pub and Grill, back in the 4th season. Took us a few seasons to get back there, but we'll be back there. But you know what? We talked about life. We talked about this, and now let's talk about a little bit more golf, and we'll touch on some hockey as well with this gentleman. But Darnell, how did you get into this wonderful game of golf?
I think it's cliche in Tiger Woods, but I think I was just watching golf one day, and I was driving by the golf course. My uncles were big into the game too. Like, they worked at golf courses, Kildonan Park, for many years. And I think one day I just picked up a club and I had no idea what I was doing, as I still don't know what I'm doing. And I've been playing the game for like 15 years now, but like, I just went out and realized really how beautiful a round of golf can be. As I get older, I'm starting to appreciate it's more about the time you actually spend on the course and the laps you have with your buddies rather than, the score, because the score has never been there and it's never going to be there for me. So I think I picked up a club once and I was just sort of drawn to it. And then I was watching golf on TV and always wanted to go. So I think it's just the uncles started with the family and I just sort of took off from there.
So what involvement did your uncles then have in the game?
One of my uncles worked in the pro shop, I think, at Kildonan Park.
Okay.
Like, this was well back, obviously, but he always told me stories. And that's why one thing that drew me to it, like, he worked mornings in the pro shop. And then as soon as he was done, he would go play 18 holes, or vice versa. Like, he'd play 18 holes in the morning. Then as soon as he was done golfing, he would go work in the pro shop. So like, he was just around the course 24/7, and he's turned into, a pretty good golfer over the years. And he has a passion for the game. So my other uncle didn't actually work at a golf course, but he's a sports guy, and we've always talked golf. So, but the one worked at Kildonan Park, and I think that was the first course I ever played. I know one of the first courses I played was Shooters, because who doesn't play Shooters is one of their first golf courses. Yeah. But Kildonan Park, that was definitely one of the first tracks I played.
Do you remember either your first set of clubs? Did your uncle, when he was working in the pro shop, did he maybe hand you down a set or get you one from the shop there?
Yeah, he did give me my first set, and I've actually been trying to think about this all day, and I had it on the tip of my tongue, and then all of a sudden, boom, just like baby brain gone. Like, I had no idea what the set was. I know they had oversized grips. I know that means nothing, and that helps not at all.
Ahead of its time, though.
Yeah,
they were, because they were old. They were old when I got them, so they obviously weren't a good set of clubs. So I played with those for a couple of years, and then as I interested in the game, I guess I got a set of Adams, just like not a beginner set, but more or less a beginner set. Like, it had a couple of hybrids in there, and then your game improvement irons, I think, is like the proper way to say it. So I played with those for several years, but I can't remember the first ones, but I know they had oversized grips. So I'm going to go with that.
That is very ahead of its time. I think Mike and we've been going back and forth with Sandy, and it even came up in Bryson's Breaking 50 with John Daly, talking about how there's not enough chatter about getting sized for grips, and it's been the bigger, the better, apparently.
Mm-hmm. I hate oversized grips. Like, I've tried them, like back in the day, I played with them because it was my first club, so whatever. But like, if I have to use them now, I absolutely hate them. They feel wrong, and my game is even worse with oversized grips than they are with regular size grips. So like, I'm a big against oversized grips, but I mean, they work for Bryson, so who's to say who I am?
Whatever works for you. I think that's what we found out throughout this show is really it comes down to you and your game, because everyone's swing is unique. Everyone thinks the game a little bit differently, and if it feels right, then you're going to shoot right.
Mm-hmm. I find it funny. Like, Matt Fitzpatrick, his chipping is backward. Like, you see backwards hand now for putting, but he uses his his right hand on the bottom of the club, which is like, yeah. And I golf with a guy in Gilbert Plains who does that with his entire swing, and he's one of the better golfers at the club. So I mean, like, honestly, like, it's so true. Whatever works. So as dumb as maybe it looks, because I think it looks silly, but if it works, it works, and who cares?
So are you in Dauphin now?
I am in Dauphin. Yeah, we've been here for like 7.5 years roughly.
Wow. So what was the reason for moving up there? I guess were you from Winnipeg originally?
Born and raised in Winnipeg. We sort of jumped around, like went to Flin Flon, Toronto, Fort McMurray, just like right after the wildfires, and then came to Dauphin because the radio station. I got a job here at the radio station, so that's sort of been my reason for moving. And been lucky enough that the fiance has packed up her bags and gone wherever needed.
So have you been in broadcasting the majority of your professional career?
Yeah, professional career for sure. I've been broadcasting even before it became my career. I was doing like university basketball and volleyball, and like I did high school basketball and volleyball as well. Like before I made it a full-time gig. So I've been doing it for quite some time.
And that would have all then been in the city. And is that why you've kind of bounced around to different places as well, or was that just with your, I guess, growing up as a kid, you were bouncing around to different places?
No, like I never moved anywhere until I was like 18. I mean, there's just, if you want to get into the career, like if you want to do play-by-play and do sports reporting, you're not going to just get a job doing the Winnipeg job. Not Jets, not saying I'm ever going to get a job broadcasting the Winnipeg Jets, because that's highly unlikely, but to give yourself at least a little bit of a chance, you got to move. Sure, I would have liked if we didn't have to move as often as we did, but now we've been, set in Dauphin for 7+ years and certainly enjoying it and living the dream here a bit. So,
and you'll find that in Dauphin, it gives a start to quite a few people who maybe they were in the industry for a bit or still are in the industry. But I remember a gentleman that I used to work with, and he was around the Winnipeg radio stations for quite some time, was Chris Reed, and he got his start up in Dauphin at, because you're at 730 CKDM.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, Darren Dutishin, who just unfortunately just passed away, he started in Dauphin as well, and he sort of climbed his way up the ladder, and then he was one of the the focal points of TSN. So there's a lot of really good stories of or Dennis Bayak. He's from just down the road, Winnipegosis, and he went all over the map in the Western Hockey League, and then obviously ended with the Winnipeg Jets. So a lot of good stories start in small towns, and just trying to sometimes you got to look outside the box and try and start small. And I think it's exciting because you build a name for yourself, and that's what I've tried to do over the years.
And how did you end up connecting with Teddy Woho? Because we had Teddy on, and I actually made a note of what season he was. Season 2, episode 8. Teddy Woho was on the show, and he was the one who passed along your name to us. So how did you get acquainted with him? Did you know him from a past life, or did you just bump into him in the same circles when you're in Dauphin?
Yeah, it was just bumped into him when we were in Dauphin. We just met on the golf course. He was working at one of the local bars, and I was there, and with one of my other friends, and we just sort of met through friends of friends, and we've been pretty good friends now for in that 6-year range. So it's cool too. Like that's another cool thing about moving to a new place. You make new friends, you make new friendships. And so that's been exciting too. But Teddy's a good guy. He'd say he's a good golfer. I don't know. I would question him on that.
He did say that you'd call him a shitty golfer. And I was like, yeah, maybe. We haven't played with him yet, but
no,
hey.
But he's been on a golf podcast. So that's some credibility, right? Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give him a little credit. I'm not going to go as far as saying he's a good golfer, but he can hit the ball. Like he's been in the game for a long time. Obviously, caddied for in some pretty big tournaments. So no, he's Teddy's one of the good ones for sure.
He asked me to ask you about the hot dog in the pocket story.
Why did I know it was going to go down this road? So we were playing in the Gilbert Plains Country Club in a scramble. And I don't know if you guys know Colby Roback. He's from this area. He's played some pro hockey in the American Hockey League, played overseas. But so whatever, we were just playing all day, obviously having a couple of cold pops on the course, what you do when you're playing in a scramble for fun. And then after we went and on the 18th hole, which was our last hole, because we were lucky enough to start on the first hole,
nice.
We got hot dogs on the hole. And I wasn't hungry at this point because I was just worried about having another cold beer, because that was the mood I was in at that point. So I guess I stashed it in my pocket. Then we had dinner in the clubhouse, and then we went to the driving range, and you know, we were all shooting the shit there, like hitting some balls, playing some games, having fun, laughs. And then it was like, we were on the driving range for like probably 2.5 hours. And I reached into my pocket, I think for a tea, because we were just trying to bomb the ball. And I pulled out a hot dog. He just laughed. And I was like, oh my God, why is this here? And in my state I was at that point, I decided to eat it, which was probably questionable at best. I mean, it's been in my pocket for, at this point, probably like 3.5, 4 hours. You know, it was like you do things you shouldn't do when you're in that kind of inebriated state. So I guess that was, and Teddy always, like, probably once a month, he brings it up to me. You and that goddamn hot dog. Something that it'll never escape.
Well, no kidding. I wonder why.
Yeah, that's an all-time situation.
Well, what's your record, Mike, for leaving a hot dog idling and before you guzzle it down?
I don't know. I don't have data on that, but I mean, I could certainly see myself finding a hot dog on my person hours after. I remember we went to a wedding, quickly here story, but their late night snack was cheeseburgers and chicken nuggets from McDonald's. So there's just a tower of cheeseburgers. Shout out to Justin Mitchell. So by the end of the night, it was, 1 a.m. comes, everyone get out of the wedding. There's still a bunch of cheeseburgers. So I stuffed my suit pockets full of cheeseburgers. We all did. I think some people woke up the next day with cheeseburgers still in their pockets, but we ate cheeseburgers that night, like until 4 a.m. So that was good. I can relate. I also put fast food items in my pockets.
I'm happy to know it's not just me.
Oh my! I'm surprised that, Mike, you did that. And even someone would stash a hot dog in their pocket. But hey, I've been in a few scrambles, and I've seen how it goes. And I guess actually, no. Speaking of them, that's what I was doing. Well, you guys were becoming dads. I was out playing some scrambles.
Wow.
Yes, and a couple of them were some best balls. So I was at Breezy Bend. I did the member guest there. I also did the member guest at Southwood, and had the chance to play in the St. James Junior Canucks Scramble Golf Tournament, which we came in, I think, second or third. We were 18 under, which is, a little different than 18 over. So that was a good feeling. We thought we had it in the bag, but we didn't. We ended up losing to Ringer and his Ringers of golfers. So we know there was probably some cheating going on, but he also won the 18 over par sponsored closest to the pin on the fourth hole at Kingswood. So shout out to Ringer. Congrats on that. And I will be getting to golf with him soon.
How much lower can you go than minus 18? Like that's,
I don't know. I think they were like minus 20 or something, minus 20. I don't know what they are. Then they had some, like I said, they had some Ringers in their group. But yeah, we were blown away. We thought we had it in the bag, but there was one hole, which was very smart. So Tom Miller, who is a member at Assiniboine Golf Club for the longest time, he was also the owner of the St. James Junior Canucks of the MMJHL forever, and was one of the pioneers bringing the MMJHL to life here in the province. He recently passed away, and so there was a hole. I forget which number it was on Kingswood. It's a par 5 dogleg right. So you can pay, I think it was like $10 a guy or something, and you can go hit from 160 yards in or whatever it was, or maybe it was 120 yards in. So pretty much everyone did it. It was a great fundraiser for the cause, and we got an albatross on that one. I stuck it close and, one putt, and there you go, because you can still take your score from, the par 5 from whatever it was, 120 yards in. So that helped lower some scores, but I was on fire with the putter. I was also playing with Roy E. Munson, a.k.a. Brent Monsian, a.k.a. Fat Kepka, and he was lighting it up. And then Paul Gray was in our group. He couldn't miss. And Graham Jones. So we had a phenomenal group, and we ended up beating the other group of Team Lefty, Arbel, Ryan Belly Handro. What the last person was in the group, Meinecker was in there as well. So yeah,
nice.
that's what I was up to. So I've been golfed out.
Yeah.
I haven't played in a week because I played so damn much over the past few weeks here. And those are long days. Tournaments are long days.
Oh, are they ever? I'm going on like a month without a round played, and I'm playing the Ironman next month. You guys see that viral
at Gilbert's? You're playing the Gilbert Plains Ironman? Oh,
right.
my.
We take a quick break to hear from Bryce Madlashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund.
Well, Bryce, it's great to have you on and to have a quick chat. My first question is, what can an investment advisor like yourself from Endeavor Wealth do for me, and how can that differ from my current experience of trading with Wealthsimple, just based on the recent Twitter feeds?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, you guys. Yeah, discount brokers like Wealthsimple certainly have their place, but at the end of the day, you get what you pay for. Those platforms are very limited in what they offer, and they're more ideal for just basic trading. So if that's what you're looking to do, it's really not a bad platform for that. But what we do at Endeavor, we take a more holistic approach. We examine an individual's needs, both short-term and long-term, and we go way beyond just investments. We look for tax opportunities, ensuring the decisions you are making today minimize your overall tax that you might be paying. We also help our clients address estate and insurance needs. So really anything we can do to assist in your overall wealth management approach. And going back to some of those discount brokers and things that you see on the internet, a lot of times people don't realize the amount of intrinsic risk that they're taking on with making some of those trades. And so finding balance is another key thing that we do for our clients at Endeavor.
That was Bryce Madlashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. You can contact Bryce at 204-515-3446.
The viral video of, I forget what hole that is, but the ball, squeaks past the hole there and rolls all the way down the hill.
Have you noticed who's in that video?
Are you in it?
The keister, the big keister with the gray shorts.
I'll have to rewatch it.
Just as the ball is going down, you can't miss it, obviously.
Well, that's...
But my butt has gone famous. Which
wow,
not the first thing I was hoping for to go famous in this world, but hey, I'll take it.
He's got a face for radio, but an ass for social media.
Yeah. I mean, Gilbert Plains, what a course. When is the when's the Ironman?
October 5th. So hopefully
coming.
it's not chilly, cold
snowing.
weather. It's still so hot though. So it's crazy outside still. So
yeah, what is September? Keep it going.
Yeah. But that's an event I play every year, and it's crazy. The pins, obviously, as you can tell, 16 is nuts, but every pin, it's just shaved. It's impossible. And then the scores, so how some of these guys shoot as low as they do, but it's just a fun day.
Well, I think that's a big part of it. If you take it too seriously, you're going to work yourself into a tizzy.
There's literally no point in taking it serious because it's impossible. Golf's already impossible. Just have fun. Just go out there, hack away, have a pop, enjoy the company you're with. And if you make a birdie, the howls are wild. If you make a birdie, you're pretty much a celebrity. So I'm trying to be a celebrity with the putter this year, not the butt. So so we'll find out.
Well, we touched on your original set and then the Adams golf clubs. What are you rocking in your bag right now?
So now I have a M4s, TaylorMade M4s. I actually went to Golf Town one day, and because a guy loves Golf Town, and I hit 8 different sets. I think I hit for 4 hours, and the wife was with me too. And then after 4 hours, I'm yeah. And then after 4 hours, I'm yeah, it's too much money. I'm not going to buy anything. She was like, if you just wasted 4 hours of my time and don't buy a set of clubs, I'm literally leaving you. So I didn't want that to happen. So I bought the clubs. So I bought M4s. I have a TaylorMade Mill Grind 56. I have a 60-degree wedge, which I don't even know what it's called. It's awful, and I don't use it, but it's still in the club for some reason. I have a TaylorMade Tour Ghost putter, and I still have 2 Adams hybrids because I like to go retro, and I still hit them okay, I guess. And then I have a TaylorMade burner, which is ancient old, but I still have it in the bag.
Those are some classics, though. The Adams, those are, for their time,
they were one of the best hybrids on them. They may have been one of the first hybrids to ever come out with those. And then the burner as well. That's a pretty sweet stick. I remember back in my day, I mean, you mentioned how old it is. Back in my day, it was like a $600 club. Maybe not that much, but it's pretty darn close.
Yeah. And now it's, I could probably get $25 for it, maybe.
Well, you never know. Mike, were you playing the M4s too before?
I still got the M4s.
You got the M4s. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Great
yeah.
club. Great club.
I love them. I don't see myself changing anytime soon. They work for me. I mean, I don't think new clubs are going to make me any better. Maybe get some flashy new PXGs or something. Apparently more. But yeah, I like the M4s and the Adams. Yeah. I think they have some of the best hybrids even still to this day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they go straight. And so that's really all that matters to me. Like, I could maybe get new clubs and add like a few yards of distance, but what's the point? Like, it's not going to help my score probably. So I just hit what I have.
Well, that's what we also heard. Lessons are a big part of it. I mean, Mike's been working, although now you probably have to change up your workout regimen due to your knee. But getting lessons really, really helped my game, although my last round wouldn't have showed it. But, maybe have you got any lessons there, Darnell? Have you or picked up any tips along the way that maybe you could pass along to both Mike and I and our listeners here that can maybe help out their game?
I haven't got any lessons. I liked from the start just teaching myself, because I think that's more gratifying than ever. Like, knowing that if I do have a good round, like it was all me. And maybe that's just silly because lessons can help. And I'm sure I could, if I had a teacher, he would just completely tear apart everything I do. So I don't know. I like doing it myself.
Yeah.
Everybody gives tips though. Like I love getting tips, like, keep your arms straight and, how your feet are lined up and that sorts of things. So I take all the tips in the world. That's cool. I like that stuff, but, no, I had no teachers for me.
Teddy Woho pass along any advice to you? Is he trying to help you with your game?
He likes to pretend he knows what he's talking about. So
just shots. No, this is like the roast of Teddy here.
No, Teddy's like, he's super knowledgeable when it comes to golf. So like when he says something, like I take it pretty seriously. I'm like, I'm a competitor at the end of the day. Like I hate, although it's all for fun at the end, because I'm not playing in any tournaments or any of that sort of thing, I still want to try and shoot as good as well as I can. So anytime Teddy says something to me on the course, I certainly, I take some stock into it.
I know Mike has played quite a few courses in and around the Parkland area. It's the Parkland area, isn't it? I sometimes mess
Parkland,
it up. Yeah, the Parkland area. So you've obviously played some golf in Winnipeg as well. What are some of the differences you've noticed from playing, in and around where you are now to maybe when you started out here in Winnipeg?
I think if any differences, it's more hilly out here. We obviously have Riding Mountain National Park, which Riding Mountain National Park is basically just a hill. I don't know if you can call it a mountain, but with that being said, like there's some pretty good hills, like a lot of blind shots. Gilbert Plains has a couple of wild blind shots on number 11 and number 16. So just hilly, like Poplar Ridge, Clear Lake, the actual golf course there. I would say just, if anything, it's just a little bit more hilly. Like I've played some beautiful courses in Winnipeg and Winnipeg area as well. But if there's any, I think it's just hilly, but I think it's a beautiful area for golfer. I mean, if you come to Dauphin, you have Gilbert Plains, you have Dauphin Lake, which on a little bit of a lower level comparatively, and then you have Clear Lake and you have Poplar Ridge, and then not even far from here, you have Neepawa and you have Minnedosa. So like it's a pretty beautiful area for golf enthusiasts. And like if you have 2 or 3 days, you can knock off like 4 or 5 unbelievable, even 6 unbelievable golf courses.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to all those, Mike?
I haven't played Dauphin Lake,
okay.
And though I do want to get up there. But last year, I made a point of getting up to Gilbert Plains. As when we started this program, we asked everyone, what your favorite course was, ever played, kind of thing. And a lot of people said Gilbert Plains, and I don't think I'd ever heard of it. And then I started looking into it, and even from Clear Lake, it's still an hour 15 maybe. So it's still like you got to dedicate some time to get up there. But absolutely amazing. Like you said, elevation changes. They started me on the back nine when we went up there. So yeah, hole 11 is that it kind of goes over a river and then you're going up the hill. Is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or am I confusing two holes?
No,
here,
yeah.
But
10 is over the river. 10 is over the river.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's a flat hole. And then 11 is like, I guess over like a mini, like creek, I guess you could say.
Oh, right.
But then it is straight uphill. Like that's like that one of the tougher holes.
Is it like a black diamond straight up? Like there should be a chairlift to get up. Like I don't know. I'm guessing people walk the course, but that would be a tough walk up just that one hole.
Yeah, I walked it a few times, and I thought that was it. I thought I saw the white light.
Yeah.
And like the difference between the front nine and back nine in Gilbert is crazy. Completely different golf courses. Like you can do some good things on the front and try and get on a little bit of a roll, but then you come in the back and it's just a completely different game. And like it's all mental too, because like if you hit the same shots you hit on the front, you can score probably pretty similar, but it just gets into your head. Like it's just trickier golf on the back compared to the nine front, I should say. Yeah,
course management for sure is a big part of that. Is that 11? Is that the hole, the viral hole where
the viral hole is 16?
16. Okay.
Yeah. So it's just before a par 3 and after a really tough par 5. And it's just the way he shaves the green. Like as you saw in the video, the putt should go in. Like there's no reason that putt does not go in the hole. And then all of a sudden they also shave it like in front of the green. So you thought it was in the hole and then it's like 25 yards down the hill. And you're like, this isn't golf. This isn't golf. But that's what makes it so fun. And that's why like the superintendents, it's their day to just say, you guys have destroyed my course all year. So I'm going to destroy your scores right now.
That's awesome. And it is thank a superintendent month here at 18 Over Par.
Thank you, Mike, for bringing that up. That was another point that I had. We will be having a superintendent on, maybe not this month, but we'll get him before the end of the season because we usually have a super on to thank them. And, you know, lots of superintendents are having those now, Ironman challenges, superintendent's revenge, whatever you want to call them. And, yeah, it really is their chance to do that. So the 16th at Gilbert Plains, every year that you've played it, that's where the pin has been?
Every year. It'll never change. That's just, it'll never change. And it'll never get boring because year by year, you're going to think you're going to make that putt and then it'll just be gone.
Has anyone got a birdie on that hole?
I'm sure someone has got a birdie somewhere, but you can't really land the ball in front of it because there's no room and it'll just roll back down. So you have to land it past the pin. I guess if you're going to be lucky, like that's probably the ultimate luck putt. Like no matter how good of a putter you are, in my opinion, anyways, if you're going to make a putt on that 16 for birdie, like you should be named tournament winners. I don't care what your score is. If you're plus 25, but you make a birdie on 16, you should be crowned champions because that truly is something special in my opinion.
What I've come to realize is now that you mentioned the plus 25, maybe you're the worst team out there. Some of these prizes for the quote-unquote most honest team, a.k.a. the worst team in these scramble tournaments, gets fantastic prizes. It's almost better than first place. Like, I want to be the most honest in my golf tournament now.
There's no point to get 4 scratches because, like, you could just get 4 guys who shoot 45 handicaps, and then you're laughing at the end of the day.
Walking home with this, walking home with that, and instead of, the first place prize, because who needs that?
Yeah. Exactly.
We want the real stuff. Mike, what are you digging through there, Mike?
I just watched the viral video again. I guess I should have shared it here, but and I did see you, Darnell. I saw your mug there. Well, there must be 2 videos because I watched that one and it, the ball kind of just, you think it's going to go in and then it just goes around the hole and then down the hill. There's another one with an old guy in the jet sweater shaking his fist or something, isn't there?
Yeah, and that's Pat Wojcik. He's like a local legend. And there's a couple of videos. Like, I think he was like sweeping it down the hill in one of them. Wasn't he? The older guy. So. Yeah. There's that one, and then there's the one I'm in. I was playing with the head coach and GM of the Kings, Doug Headley, and he was the one that was putting. So
nice. That's fun. Cool. Yeah, you almost got to get out there just to putt that hole and see if you can hit it.
Yeah, and they've had guys from last year. They had guys from North Dakota that came and played it.
Really?
Yeah. So it's gone viral. Like everybody knows about it. So I mean, it's pretty cool when you got guys coming from all over the map to play. It's a beautiful course too. Like just so nice.
Yeah. Well, even mention it. The hills and around the park there. It's a fantastic place to go, and like you mentioned, within driving distance, there's a bunch of nice courses that you can get out to and bomb it around, and all within close proximity to, Gilbert Plains, Poplar Ridge, Clear Lake. You mentioned them all there. And you also brought up the Dauphin Kings. So you are the voice of the Dauphin Kings. How long have you been doing that? And has hockey play-by-play always been something you've wanted to do?
I guess this is my 7th season. And I would say, yeah, I was one of those kids, those weird kids. Although now I think, I don't know how weird it is because I always hear stories. I'd be playing like NHL on the PS5 and I would mute it and I would do the play-by-play, or like I'd be watching CBC and I would mute it, do the play-by-play. Mm-hmm. I was at my fiance's brother used to play AAA hockey with the Interlake Lightning. And this was right when we first started dating. And I went to one of the games and I stood away from the family. I was just at the end and I was that guy opening my mouth and talking. And the partner's dad was like, asked her, is there something wrong with him? Yeah. And then Brody was just like, no, he's just practicing his play-by-play. So awesome.
Great first impression.
Yeah, exactly. I knew they would accept me. If they accepted me doing that, I knew I was part of the family. It's just something I've enjoyed doing. Like, I love being in the booth, trying to be passionate about it and call my own game. It's something I love to do.
And the Dauphin Kings, so you said about seven seasons now, and also sports director at 730 CKDM. So I take it that's the station that the Kings games are broadcasted on.
Yeah, so I cover all sports. Obviously, golf in the summer, predominantly hockey in the winter. Kings actually won the league a couple of years ago. I had a chance to go to the Nationals in 2022 in Estevan. That was, that's one of those bucket list things, and hopefully it happens again, obviously. But just to even say you did it once is pretty darn cool.
Yeah, Estevan certainly on my bucket list too.
And that arena there, that's if you're a hockey fan, I shouldn't say Estevan was on my bucket.
I know what you meant there. I just wanted to
Mike
make
still
a crack.
got it.
Wanted to make a crack at Estevan.
Their arena's nice. That's like an NHL arena, just like obviously a fifth of the size, but like they have like suites all the way around. Like it was a pretty sweet facility. Oh, okay. But yeah, you go outside of the rink, it's still Estevan, which is. Well, it's Estevan.
We just lost all of our Estevan listeners.
Yeah, damn.
Sorry, JR.
No, that's fine. Well, on that note, the MJHL season is ramping up here real fast. How are the Kings looking? Was it Nipois that won the title last year?
Last year, Winkler won it.
Winkler, sorry.
Winkler was really good. They actually had their top player committed to play D1 at UND, which is obviously one of the best programs in college sports, but I think promising this year. Last year it was a really cool, the playoffs, because the Kings played the Blizzard, and it was like a historic series because game 2 needed overtime, game 2 needed double overtime, game 6 went into 5 overtimes. I was calling that game. It didn't finish till like after 1:00.
Wow. So I was like sleepless nights then.
Yeah, for sure. And then game 7 was triple overtime. So like that was just a cool series to be a part of. And with junior hockey, like it changes from year to year. Guys want to, go and play better leagues, other opportunities. They think the grass is greener on the other side. But 18 returnees from last year, which is pretty unheard of in junior hockey, including the top goaltender who made 71 saves in game 6 last year and 46 in game 1.
Wow.
The leading goal scorer from the team who had 48 points in the regular season. So I think there's a lot of promise, a lot of optimism going into the season, which is pretty thrilling because we're only, it's a fun organization to be around. I'm pretty tight knit with the coaching staff. So I think things are looking pretty good heading into the new year.
Do you do a pregame and postgame show and everything? Do you get on the bus with the boys?
Yeah, I'm on the bus. Like the paw. We go in the paw. We leave at noon, and we don't get home till like 2:30 in the morning. So like those make some long days. But I'm on the bus. I do pre-game show, post-game show, like the whole jazz, all that. And try and spice it up and make the organization look as good as possible. But yeah, it's basically my own show. When I turn my mic on, it's up to me to take it off and do the rest.
Oh, that's awesome. That seems like it would be, quite the mouthful, to be talking for that long. I mean, geez, just trying to put together our show here. I mean, that's got to be like close to 4 hours sometimes.
5 overtime game, like started at 7:30, didn't end till like 1:15. I remember the year when the Kings went to Estevan in 2022. I didn't have my voice in the summer for until August. And then the new season was starting in like a month because I'm pretty loud in my broadcasts. I make a lot of noise. We'll just say that. So I lost my voice for quite some time there.
JR, we got to find an audio clip and plug it into this episode.
Yeah, we'll have to edit that in there.
Yeah.
I could send you guys a gooder. I think I could send you guys from Game 6 when I'm just going nuts.
Yeah, please do.
Perfect.
Love it. We'll just play that on loop. Screw the rest of it.
Let's put some auto tune on and make it a. The bus. I had one of my questions was traveling on the bus. Is that a grind, or is it's a good bonding with the players and stuff, or?
Yeah, I mean, you have some good chats with the players, but it's a little bit of a grind. I mean, you get used to it. I guess it's just part of the duties. I mean, you got to get to the game somehow. I'm very thankful that I don't have to drive to games because I don't do well, especially when it's dark. And after a broadcast, my mind wants to sort of shut off because I'm pretty mentally fatigued. Certainly not physically fatigued, but mentally fatigued. So it's nice too. And I give a lot of kudos to these bus drivers, especially in like the dead of winter, and they got to somehow get us to these games, and it's snowing, it's slippery, and like they're staying up until late and they have super long days. So I give great kudos to, the bus drivers. I think they do an incredible job. So it's just sort of the process you get used to. And I've been doing it for a while. So I've spent a few hours on the bus.
I'm going to say a few hours every day, and it adds up to a few years over your career.
Yeah, it's probably, it's kind of scary. I don't know if I want to look back to how much time I've actually spent on the bus.
Well, coming into the 24-25 season, is Winkler still the team to beat? I guess if you want to be the champs, you got to beat the champs.
No, I don't know. I don't think they'll be the team to beat. I think they're still going to be pretty decent. They're going to be a good hockey club. They've had some changes. Their marketing guy left in the offseason. Their head coach and general manager, Justin Falk, who led them to the MJHL title, now was hired on as the Buffalo Sabres as a scout. So he's gone. Wow. So they have a new head coach. So perhaps they're going to try and find, maybe a new identity. I think some of the favorites, Steinbach every year, they're always powerhouse. I mean, they lost last year. They won the year before. They lost to us in 2022. Pretty cool. They're now the Northern Manitoba Blizzard. For the longest time, they were the OCN Blizzard. Last year, they were just the Blizzard, and now they're the Northern Manitoba Blizzard, and they seem to be doing things, in the right way. They made it to Game 7 in the second round last year. I think the Kings are going to be a pretty strong team. Verdun is always a team that's good, but they've never got over that hump. So I think there's probably heading into the season, you're thinking in that 5-6 team range that are, thinking that they can maybe make a run. And I know it's early to say that, but I think there's probably 5 or 6 teams that are thinking, if we get it off to a good start and then maybe add some pieces at the deadline, maybe we can make a run.
JR, speaking of Blizzards, DQ Nick is involved with the Niverville Nighthawks.
Right.
Looks like they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like I love the Niverville story. Like they have a beautiful new facility. I think they're even upgrading it a little bit more. Just a beautiful city, and or a town, whatever you want to call it. But they've had great fan support since day one. Their game ops. I know Kevin Pauls does their marketing and play-by-play. He's a great guy, and it's just I love going into junior hockey arenas and seeing fans in the stands loud and proud. I think that's what it's all about, and I think Niverville is doing everything right. Certainly, other than obviously winning that championship. But I don't know if that's too far away either, because they have some pretty good coaching. They have a good rounded staff. So I give a thumbs up to the Nighthawks.
Oh,
well, I like it. We'll do a thumbs up, thumbs down. for all the teams. No, maybe we won't go that far.
Yeah. I haven't been to a MJHL game in like 25 years since the St. James had an MJHL team
the
like
Canadians,
when we were
and then the
10
Winnipeg
years old
South
or
Blues
something.
and the Winnipeg Saints. Now, what is it now? The Winnipeg Freeze?
No,
Or is it
now
Ice?
that Saints organization, they moved to Verdun. So that's the Verdun Oil Capitals. But there are two Winnipeg teams. There's the Blues, the Winnipeg Blues, and the Winnipeg Freeze. They've like over the last few years, they've been absolutely at the bottom of the standing, and it's not even close. They're pretty significantly pay to play. So you're seeing, most of the top players go elsewhere to other organizations, which is tough on those two teams. But it's really good hockey. I mean, year after year, you're seeing guys go play D1. As I mentioned, like Dalton Andrew, he's playing at UND this year and then go off to have successful professional careers. Like Reese Gaber played with the Kings. He was born in Gilbert Plains, then won a title with Steinbach. He went off to be one of the most productive players in UND hockey history. And now he's getting set for his first year of professional hockey with the Charlotte Checkers in the American Hockey League. So, I mean, it's some pretty elite hockey here. And I feel sorry for the people who, don't get out maybe as often as they would maybe want to, because once you watch one game, you're certainly going to want to watch more.
Well, growing up, around the game, have you seen the game change? Maybe it's even changed within the past 7 years since you started with the Dauphin Kings.
Oh, it's outstanding. Yeah. Even in the last 7 years, when I first came and there wasn't as much skill, the top teams had two really good lines. And then the third line was a checking line. And then the fourth line was just basically, three guys who were just not brawlers, but they were there to help and facilitate and be bruisers, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's all skill. You have guys on the first line that are extremely skilled, but even you go down to the fourth line, yes, they're not as skilled as the first line, but they are very skilled as well. And the speed is outrageous. The game is moving at such a quick pace these days. And that's kudos to the guys, the players and that's the cool thing I think about training camp. You can really tell the guys who worked out during the summer and actually put work and focus on themselves, because at the end of the day, that's your job. If you want to have a good season and make a team out of training camp, you got to put the work in over the summer. So these guys are doing strength training, fitness training. Like one of the guys on the Kings this year, he was okay last year. He worked out all summer. He won a provincial baseball championship. He lost 15 pounds and he's just come into camp and he's an absolute beast. He's outperforming everybody on the team. Whereas last year he was like a bubble guy. So it's those cool stories, and you really find out who put in the work in the off season. And I think that's pretty cool to see.
Do you know any physical therapists who can help Mike through his knee issue?
I do know a couple physical therapists locally. Although I think there's probably better options that are 4 hours closer.
Maybe. I don't know. Got to get in with Prozac Fitness there, JR.
Right.
And he can help me rehab my knee once I go see a physiotherapist and I can get my strength back.
Yeah, he is. He is awesome. Prozac training. Zach Thompson, he was a former professional golfer. He was at UNLV and he did the collegiate circuit for golf. And now he's a personal trainer, and that guy is elite when it comes to that. So, yeah, I would recommend anyone who has the opportunity and even wants to get better at golf. He knows how to get you back into golf real fast and get you fit for it. Speed training, power training, whatever it is. No free ads, but shout out to Prozac Training.
Maybe he has some voice exercises for us as well.
We'll go to Darnell for those. He can be our voice coach, our voice coaches.
Oh.
Do you ever play The Sims? Do you ever play virtual golf?
I have.
Yep.
We have a couple guys here that have Sims, and I've played a couple times. They frustrate me because the Sims I've played aren't super good. So I'll hit a ball and it'll go 350 yards somehow, and I'm like, I've not even hit a ball 300 yards in my life. Never mind 350 yards. Or I'll absolutely my 6-iron, for instance, and it'll go 110 yards, and I'm like, how is that possible? So I just feel like I'd like to try a top end sim. That fourth line sounds like the place to be next Saturday.
Oh, it sure is. Yeah, thanks for the plug again. Yeah, we'll be sharing it on social media. Maybe we'll even throw it up in our link tree. I just thought of that. Maybe I'll make a note. But Saturday, September 21st, everyone's going to be down there at Fourth Line. We got Dave Wheeler from Energy 106. We got Mark Morris from Hot 100.5. And then, of course, you got us bums, JR and Mike from 18 Over Par.
If the Kings weren't coming, I'd drag out Teddy, but Kings are playing, so.
Yeah, they couldn't have scheduled an exhibition game or something in Winnipeg.
How rude.
That weekend. Come on. Let's
So
talk to the
selfish.
schedule guys there. Ridiculous. So, did you have any more, Mike, or did you want to get into the back nine?
We don't have to fight any of the radio guys, do we? Or is that...
Maybe that'll be one of the challenges. I don't know. Anyways,
all right.
good
Doesn't
guy.
listen to
He's
the
really
show.
good. Yeah, he's a really good golfer. Hopefully, we'll get him on the show. Maybe not after I said that, but maybe Mark Morris. We'll talk to him about it because I actually bumped into him at Fourth Line. I don't know if he was singing karaoke, but it was karaoke night Friday nights at Fourth Line, and he was down there and kind of started shooting the shit and talked a little bit about the Sims, and yeah, maybe he'll swing a few as well. Maybe we'll have a quote unquote celebrity long drive or celebrity closest to the pin.
Mick Morris, isn't he he's a snowboarder?
Yeah, that's the pro snowboarder. Yeah.
Darnell, did you get a chance to take in the Manitoba Games that happened in the summer?
Yeah. It was actually like the timing was interesting because that was right when we were having our baby, baby Collins. But obviously with my job, so I didn't go to work, but I was still in the hospital, and I was sending reports in, and the nurses were like asking who the heck is that guy? Cause like, I'm just in the spare bedroom, just screaming and like updating people with stats. But no, yeah, that was super cool. Like, that's an awesome event. Like that's like in the mini Olympics for Manitoba. Like there's 1,500 athletes. They had it all decked out with the athletes village. They had, it was really cool to see. And it was such a cool economic boost for Dauphin. It's kind of unfortunate because right now in Dauphin, like they basically have all of Main Street torn up to shreds. It's a part of like I would imagine like it's $1 billion. Like they're fixing, paving and making it's going to look beautiful at the end of the day, but just the traffic in town and detouring that week was just insane. But such a cool event to be a part of, like truly history making. And Dauphin always does really good when events like that come to town. Like they have great volunteers, great support. The co-hosts were awesome. So it was really cool to be a part of, like a week I'll never forget. Like we have our kid and then we have the Manitoba Summer Games. I mean, pretty a special week.
Yeah, I saw a few updates on the whoever I follow there, but it looked pretty cool. And yeah, pretty neat to have all those athletes come to the town and compete. I guess I was following mostly the golf there. Was that at Gilbert Plains?
Yeah, that was at Gilbert. And I played the course like 1 day before the event, and they had the Golf Manitoba flags and Golf Manitoba tee markers, which is a small thing, but like I think it makes it look like a professional thing. And I think that was the biggest thing throughout the week. Everything looked professional. Everything was professionally done. How cool would that be for an athlete? Like just to be a part of that. That's something that they'll never forget.
Certainly. Yeah. I remember earlier this year, me and JR, we teed off at Niagara, and they had a Golf Manitoba event going on that week, and they had the flags up there and proceeded to top a 5-iron off the first tee about 60 yards in front of Brian Munns, and that was pretty memorable.
Yeah, that was the juniors there. They had it in Niagara this year.
Right.
Yeah, and it was the course was in beautiful shape. I mean, everywhere has been in beautiful shape. That's why we want to get a super on to talk a little bit about the conditions this year, because they change every year, and even depending on where you are in the province, they change a little bit as well, and how you got to take care of the course, and then maybe even chat a little bit about some of those superintendents' revenge or the Ironmans that do come up, because it's seemingly quite a few places are doing those now. And again, you're just going out there for fun, and I think this was why this has been such a great opportunity and show for having you on, because you seem to just really enjoy the game of golf. That's awesome. I mean, that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. It is a game. You're out there to have fun. At least where we are, we can go around and have hot dogs in our pockets or cheeseburgers in our pockets or whatever and still have a good time. But that's also something memorable about this episode. Maybe we'll just play that on loop The hot dog in the pocket and cheeseburger in the pocket.
If you never hear about another person having a hot dog in their pocket, I'm honored to be the first and only.
You probably will be.
Oh,
Maybe we'll have to do that at Fourth Line. Upcoming this
Yeah.
Saturday. Hot dogs in the pockets. We'll see if that flies. I don't know. I don't even know if they have hot dogs there. I know they got hot dogs at 7-Eleven across the street. I don't know if Fourth
There you
Line
go.
has dogs or not, but
we can bring our own.
we can bring our own. Bring your own dog. All right. Do you want to get in the back nine lightning round then, Mike?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's jump into the back nine lightning round. And it is for Bryce Malashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. You can contact Bryce at 204-515-3446. You can also find him in our link tree. Let's go to our social media, click on our bios, and right there will be our link tree. And you'll get to see all the fun stuff. You'll get to see a little bit about Fourth Line, maybe something about
How many things
Darnell.
are on the link tree?
There were a bunch. I cleaned it up recently because there was way
Okay.
too many. There was about 12 at one point. I'm like, this is getting
Did you?
ridiculous.
You pruned it.
I did, yes. I pruned that tree. Still got it.
Yeah. And I was talking about Bryce there in St. Charles. They opened the Ross 9.
They did, right.
Donald Ross. So hopefully invites us out to see the new course renos.
Yeah, I get to see the Don Ross and the Mackenzie, which they completed last year. I think it was, or did they open it last year? Something like that.
They opened it last year. No.
Nice.
I guess now they're going to rip up the Woods 9.
I think so. They're doing it all. 27 holes, all redone, which is pretty phenomenal.
The Woods 9, the nicest parking lot in Western Canada. All right, let's kick this off. Darnell, you got a nickname?
Duffy.
Duffy. Yep. I got that on my list. I got Duffy, Duffman, Double D. You ever got Double D?
I got double D, triple D, because I'm actually Darnell Drew Duff. That's my full name.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, Duffman, Duffinator, like anything you could. Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
I will say on the pantheon of guests that we've had, your name it's got to be the number one. It's got to be the best name that we've had on.
Uh,
There you go. Another first.
Speechless.
Yeah.
Speechless.
I wish I had a crown. I've never had a chance to wear a crown before, but I feel like this was my moment.
We'll have to get one made, maybe a tiara. But all right, so quick rundown of a few 9 questions here for you. Have you ever got a hole in one?
No.
Have you ever seen one?
I have seen. Yes, that was awesome. That was actually electric. That was really cool. The guy just went completely berserk. We have a river on the 9th hole at Gilbert Plains, and that's where he made the ace. I thought he was going to jump in it. Didn't. I think I probably would have, just because why not? But it was cool to see.
Yeah, that's a nice hole. It kind of goes in towards the clubhouse there, and then you go over the big iconic bridge there. You got a golf ball that you play regularly, or kind of whatever you can get your hands on?
I like a yellow Shrixon, and people hate on me because many people would have realized hate yellow golf balls.
Maybe it's a Dauphin thing. I don't know. I've been playing a yellow golf ball down here, and I love them. I haven't gotten any flack when people see my game, like, oh, maybe there's something to this yellow golf ball.
I salute you, JR, because Dauphinites, they just seem to hate that I use a yellow golf ball.
Yeah. It hasn't, I guess it hasn't reached that far north yet, but I do remember, a few years ago, we were even giving left-hand Levy a hard time for always using a hard ball, but he was breaking down barriers for you, JR. Now you're using it. Now Darnell's using it. So it's becoming more common, I guess. The yellow balls I can do, but not blue or pink or some of those Volvics, and Golf Spy's looking into some of the data on the distances and spin of those types of balls, or the matte finish.
Yeah, the matte finish apparently doesn't go as far.
No. So
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Apparently, who knew?
Interesting.
Golf Spy knows.
Golf Spy.
Huh.
You got a favorite course to play in Manitoba?
I would say Larders Country Club.
Okay.
Sneaky, yeah.
Well, I would say Pine Ridge, because I was a member there for a few years, but I haven't played there. So I'm going to say Larders, because every time I go back to Winnipeg, I play at Larders.
What brought you to Pine Ridge?
My uncle was a member at Elmhurst.
you had to one up them.
just sort of worked out, and it was awesome. Like they had the Manitoba Open. It was the Players Cup back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I caddied for it actually a few years. But no, it was just a cool course. Yeah, Joel Thielen. The name escapes me. The son of a really, really famous golf coach from Florida. And I hate that the name escaped me, but yeah, I know I caddied for a few guys over the years.
That's
incredible.
a neat
experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool to be inside. Like these guys are just like unreal, and just to see them strike a ball, so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So impressive.
Were you giving out yardages, or kind of just keeping the chatter light and keep their mind off the game kind of thing?
I caddied for Joel for 3 years, and we actually had a pretty good connection. And I was a member in Pine Ridge, and I'll never forget. This was the 50th hole, so it's a long par 5. And he got to the green in 2. If you don't golf there often, you think that putt's going to break on 15. But I told him before he putt, this is dead straight, and it was like a 25 footer, and I was like, this is straight, it's not going to move. And he ended up making the putt for eagle, and then he was like, nice read. So
Nice.
I played a
You can stay on the bag.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get fired after that hole, but then he allowed me to stay for the rest of the round. So that's just cool, just to see their preparation, their mindsets, and how they go about their business. Because at the end of the day, like, we play golf for fun, but like, especially when you're playing on the Canadian Tour, I know it's like PGA Tour Americas now. There's not a lot of money, and it's expensive to travel how these guys travel. So like, we play it for fun, but like, one shot for them could mean they don't play in the next tournament, or, you know, they run out of money, or that sorts of thing. You see all those stories where guys just run out of money after, you know, so many tournaments that they don't make the cut, or, you know, they make the cut, but even if you make the cut and finish like 60th, there's no money really there.
Yeah, you're maybe getting your entry fee back.
Yeah, exactly. But you're still paying for travel, you know, billets or hotels, whatever it be. Like, it's pricey.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up, because they had the Manitoba Open. What is it? The CN Rail Park Manitoba Open, whatever it is, Centerport Rail Park Open.
Canada Rail Park Manitoba Open.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
The Manitoba Open at Southwood, and Neil Shipley, who was the Low-Am at the Masters and the U.S. Open, I believe, too. He was a Low-Am at that as well. He was playing, I think this was his third event, maybe on the PGA Tour. Anyways, so he has his own caddy. He was the only one who had his own caddy. And he was sitting there in the corner in the clubhouse going over notes. So that's, you mentioned the preparation there, Darnell, and that's the kind of preparation that, you know, he's probably going to be on tour soon, and he might be one of those people that you have to watch out for. That's the kind of preparation that these players go through. If you're going to be a professional, you got to do that day in, day out. If you don't know the course, you're going through the yardage books, you're making notes, and you're figuring out how you're going to bang it around the course. And he finished second. You know, Shipley did.
Yeah, to Kiefer there.
Yeah, to Kiefer, yeah.
Playing on the PGA this week in Napa, like at that pro course. So like,
wild, yeah.
That's a pretty cool connection there.
Yeah, it kind of just goes to show, you know, the talent of these guys that are playing in this, you know, the Manitoba Open, the PGA Americas Tour or whatever. I didn't get to go and watch it for like a 4th year in a row. Well, I guess I went last year for a good like 3 hours, but I was busy doing other things.
Rehabbing children.
Well, children. But yeah, it seemed like a great event, and it came right down to the wire between those two guys. So I'll go next year. Jerry, did you pop in at all?
I did, and it was I think it was the most attended of the Opens, and I don't know if they're keeping track from the Players Cup to all the way to now, but at least since it's been at Southwood, it was the most attended Manitoba Open that's been there. And I will say, I was hanging around. It is the 8th hole, tournament 17 at Southwood. And usually, you know, you'll have a few shots to go here, go there. Every single group that I watched, and it was maybe 7 to 8 groups, and everyone hit the green. Every single one of them hit the green. The past few years that I've been going to it, that was not the case. It was maybe, you know, 1 or 2 guys per group would maybe get it on there. But these guys, every single one of them on the green, back to back, back to back, back to back, all these groups. It was pretty phenomenal to watch.
Yeah, and that cool, that Canadian, that Matthew Anderson was top in the top 10. I think he was 3rd, and now he's got his Corn Ferry card. Corn Ferry Tour card. So like, these guys, like it's a true battle, and it's you put in a lot of work and a lot of grinding, a lot of traveling, and a lot of balls hit. Like it's pretty legit. It's pretty cool to watch, and to think like a tournament like this goes to Winnipeg, or like, you know, even in small town Saskatchewan, like it's pretty cool to if the chance to watch these guys live in person.
Amazing. Well, that was question number 3 in our back nine lightning round, as it usually turns into a back nine drought or hurricane. So Darnell, Duffy, what would be your bucket list course? My Manitoba bucket list course. Yeah, anywhere you want to get out to in Manitoba.
That I've already played or not?
No, you want to get out to. You've heard a lot about it.
I want to play Falcon.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Beautiful.
Phenomenal shape
I've heard
this year
good
too.
things.
Who's the super there?
Dave.
Dave
Turner. Yep. You got it.
Yeah.
Was that last year? Anyways, yes.
I think so. It was a great episode.
Yes.
Go look up Dave Turner, 18 over par. Yeah, beautiful. Right up there with, Clear Lake and Gilbert Plains. Nice, what do you call it? Like a Parklands course?
Yeah. Just far. It's just far for us. Like, to make the trek all the way down there.
Absolutely.
Certainly, if I ever have the chance, like definitely that's when I want to get to.
You ever take the clubs with you on the bus? Maybe not. You're kind of always in and out right away.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's winter.
Most of it hockey's in the winter.
Yeah.
I did play though in Esteban actually when we were in nationals, because it was in the end of May, and it was warm out at that point. So I did play there and rented clubs, shot horribly, had fun though, so it was cool.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Well, in your opinion, what would be the most memorable course that you've ever played anywhere?
I think TPC
Tampa Bay. Very nice.
I'm a big guy, but it was when I was still a junior, and like the junior rates at the time, it was $20 for a junior to play 18, or it was I think it was like 120 for non-junior. So I told them I'm a junior, and they were like, "No, you're just a liar." So I had to bring up my ID, and ultimately got on for $20. But like they played
$20, what a steal!
Wow,
complete steal. But like they played Champions Tour there, like, and it was just a gorgeous course. So yeah, TPC Tampa Bay. I don't know why that escaped me.
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah. Baby brain. I'm just gonna blame every time I screw up. I'm blaming it on that, and I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. It's great. I've been blaming so much stuff on it recently. Anywhere in the world, you got a bucket list course, with the exception of Augusta National. Though you are a member of the media, so you may have an opportunity to play it on the Masters Media Monday lottery that they do.
I'd say Pebble Beach.
Yeah, that's a good one. That comes up quite a bit. We got to get back there too.
I think I want to play Pebble Beach. I think that just looks like a cool golf course. Maybe, I'm going Pebble Beach.
Nice.
Good answer. They got a nice clock tower there. So I hear. You got a career low round?
Career low round was a 79.
Wow, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's outstanding. It was just one of those days. I wrote a story, because I write stories on local athletes succeeding and everything. So the next day I shot a 79, and the news guy wanted to write a sports story on me about it. He did. And then the next day my boss calls me, and he was like, "Take that down immediately." I was like, "Okay. Sorry, boss. Just because I kicked your ass at men's night doesn't mean you have to be, But,
yeah.
That'd be a dick about it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
At least I thought you were going to say you wrote your own article.
No, I see people doing that. Like, and I'm like, give your head a shake. You need a head shake, because what are you doing here?
Yeah. Number 8, my wild card. Obviously, you watch a lot of hockey, and so do I, but my hockey IQ is fairly low. I imagine you follow the Winnipeg Jets, so
I do.
Interested to know what your thoughts are for the upcoming season, and any criticisms or
beefs
props.
and bouquets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a good team. I don't think this is a team that's going to do any damage. I think, again, they're going to get into the problem of playing Connor Hellebuck way too much. And then come the postseason, he's going to get tired and he's going to give up some poor goals, as he did last year against Colorado, as seemingly, almost replicates every single year. I think it was a real good thing to get rid of Wheeler. I don't know about Scheifele. I still don't know about Scheifele. I think he's problematic and a player that maybe you want to part ways with and go down maybe that rebuilding road, because I don't think this is a team that can make any noise. They're going to be mediocre every single year. But if you can bring in, get rid of a Scheifele, and I know that's crazy because they just signed him to a really lucrative contract, so that's something that's not going to happen. But if you can get some, top end prospects in and maybe struggle for a couple of years, but reap the benefits of that in 3-4 years, like the Detroit Red Wings, I think are going to do. Like they were horrible. They've been horrible for the last several years, but they're starting to be a team that guys, professional analysts are talking about, not necessarily win a Stanley Cup right now, but to make some noise and, try and get to that good spot. So I think the Jets will be a good team, but I think it's just going to be, at the end of the day, it's going to end up being the same result.
We just got to kick Chevy out and get Yzerman over here and figure it all out.
Yeah, I don't know if I love the trade they did for
McGrody. Oh yeah.
I love that. I think Yager's going to be the better player, anyways. And I mean, McGrody, he didn't want to be in Winnipeg, so why would you want a guy that obviously just doesn't want to be there? He wasn't going to sign. And I think Braden Yager, a guy who just won a championship last year with the Moose Jaw Warriors in the Western Hockey League, he's going to bring that championship pedigree, albeit obviously in a in the lower league, but I think Yager is going to be really good for a long time. So that was a win for Chevy. I think Chevy has a lot of misses and makes mistakes, but I think that was one. I don't think coach was the right decision either. They've had so much mediocrity under him. I know he wasn't the head guy, but he's had an opportunity to be a head guy at times when Bonus was out. So I think that was a mistake as well. But I'll give him the Braden Yager one. That was a win.
Jaeger bomb.
Jaeger bombs. He's going to be tossing. That's got to be like a special after he scores, like $2 Jaeger bombs.
Yeah,
which they won't do. But
yeah, they won't. Mike's thinking about it.
Yeah, that'd be dangerous. I don't know. I don't know. Can we even do shots at the
I don't even know if you can.
I don't
know. We'll
start a new trend because Jaeger bombs.
Yeah, because Jaeger bombs.
We'll just bring our own.
Yeah.
I gotta ask. This is part 2 of my wild card question, but I do some of my research through Instagram, and I saw you own some rare birds.
Yes,
or used
5.
To. Yeah,
still have them. So cockatiels. So we got our first one, Mango, in Fort McMurray. The wife wanted her in the worst way, and then when we moved to Dauphin, we got another one, Kiwi. From McCreary, which is just down the road, super small place. And then boy and a girl, and they had babies. So now we have 3 other ones. Papaya. Yeah, papaya, guava, and then just went with wild card theme. We named the 5th one Bruce. So that's the story of our flock. And we have 2 dogs too. So like 2 dogs, a kid, and 5 birds. It's quite the household.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I don't know anything about birds. The cockatiel is part of the parrot family.
Yeah. They don't really do. They can't talk. Like they can't really do anything of that. Like you got to go one step up and get a cockatoo, like cockatoo.
Right.
Then cockatoo is like they got like more sassy, but cockatiel is just like they don't talk or anything like that. They just fly and do cockatiel things.
Right. If you were to put it outside with one of them outside, would it fly away or?
Oh yeah, gone. Yeah, gone for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Not going to try that.
Don't do that.
But actually, it's funny because we were in Fort McMurray. There was this one person who had a cockatiel and brought it out every day, and said it did it for like 2 years. Every day brought the cockatiel outside, but then all of a sudden I asked him, and he was like, "Yeah, the cockatiel flew away," and he was just like heartbroken.
Oh,
because he did it for like 2 years. And then all of a sudden the cockatiel.
The other thing I read about the cockatiels, naturally I dove real deep into this, JR. They live for like 15 years or more.
Yeah. So we're in it for the long run with our cockatiels. They have their own room. Like they have a cage, but they just pretty much have free roam inside their room. It's closed door, obviously, because we have dogs. So if the door was open, we wouldn't have any cockatiels.
Right.
So I go down and feed them and give them treats, and they live their life.
Very cool. That's cool. Our flagship question of the Back Nine Lightning Round. What is your favorite condiment?
Favorite condiment? Ketchup.
Hey, another ketchup. Ketchup's been popular this season.
Very popular.
Come back for ketchup.
Love ketchup. I will eat ketchup and like mountains of it. Love ketchup. Just fantastic. It's by far my most enjoyable condiment, without a doubt.
Any ketchup on that hot dog that you had in your pocket?
I don't remember. I was in a little bit of a foggy state at that point. I'm gonna hope not, or else it would have been like boiling ketchup.
A little bit messy, yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
Would have been a disaster.
Cool. French fries, obviously. What else?
French fries, burgers, hot dogs, mac and cheese, grilled cheese.
Yeah, yeah.
And toss ketchup on anything, and I'm game.
Pizza. That's a weird one, but there's a funny video when the guy's in like Italy and he orders a pizza and he pulls out like a ketchup bottle and then they kick him out of the restaurant or something.
Yeah, that's crossing the line. I love ketchup, but ketchup does not deserve to be on pizza.
Well, good answer, Duffy. Yeah, that's surprising, JR, as ketchup is certainly very popular this season.
Yeah, it is. Hey, good on ketchup. I'm having more of it, so why not? Everyone else can have some more of it too. But that was the Back Nine Lightning Round, and it was for Bryce Matlashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. Contact Bryce at 204-515-3446. You can also check him out in our link tree, shoot him an email, send him a fax, give him a call, whatever it might be. But Darnell, Duffy, this was fantastic. You two go back to your kids. Hopefully they're sleeping, or maybe put them back to sleep. I don't know, but... it was a fantastic show. Thank you so much for taking the time and joining us today.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. You guys are two great men doing great things. So thanks for having me.
Oh, wow. Well, you didn't have to say that, but thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just play that on loop.
We'll put that on a crown.
Put that on your tiara. All right. Well, thanks again.
Awesome.
And we'll talk to you next time at Fourth Line for all you listeners out there. Come down and see us. But thanks again, Duffy. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
And you can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot.